Hey there. I'm thinking about times in Jesus' life when he needed to be alone, when he needed time to think and to pray and to sort things out. There was a time when he was about 30 years old, when he was trying to figure out what his job for God was. And he went out into the wilderness, out into the empty place for days in order to think and understand who he was and what he was supposed to do. And then as he went into his ministry, when he'd have a busy day teaching and healing and engaging with people, sometimes he would also go off into the wilderness to be alone with God. That first time when he went to the wilderness to be baptized, he was baptized as an adult, not as a baby. He sensed God's presence. He sensed the Spirit of God coming upon him and filling him and claiming him. And then he went even further into the wilderness to be alone. Another time, he took just a couple of his disciples with him and went up into a hill. And there, it was like God was all around him like a light. Other times we know that he went into the hills to pray, and we don't know how he experienced God, but based on those two times, we know that he found God there when he went to be alone. I'm wondering, where do you go when you need to be alone? Maybe there's some place in your house. This is a room where I come to talk like this and to record and thoughts that you can listen to later. But this is also where my weaving loom is. And so it's a place that I come to be by myself, working and thinking. So maybe there's a place in your house that you go to where you can close the door and to be alone. Maybe there's a place outside that you like to go to be alone. Maybe there's a quiet place or a place with a wonderful view. I live here by the water, and often I like to go down to the shore and just watch the water move, listen to the sound of the water, see that energy. Sometimes when we're wanting to be alone, we are looking for that renewing energy. When I was a teenager, just down the road, there was a place with huge old willow trees and a very quiet pond. I used to like to go there when I wanted to be alone. And I loved it because the trees were so old, and it made me feel like the world is a long, enduring place. And I liked it because it was quiet. There the water was absolutely still. I was a teenager then, and there was lots going on and lots that I didn't understand and lots of turmoil. And so peaceful water was what I wanted then. So there are places that we choose to go to be alone. But we're never completely alone. In this place, this space, my cat decided he had to join me. And he opened the sliding door so that he could come in and see what was going on in this place and maybe figure out who I was talking to. He's wandering around my feet. But more importantly, we're never alone. God is always with us. And for me, sometimes I want to be alone for exactly that reason. I want to sense that God is with me. That still pond with those old willow trees was a place that I sensed God's creation, God's presence as creator. And with those old trees, the reminder of God's alwaysness. And down at the water here, I go to sense the energy of God in creation. And sometimes finding a place that I can just sit in the sun, I sense God's love and care. And so I hope that you do have a place that you can go to be alone, and that it's a place that you sense that you're not totally alone. Never totally alone. Always. God is with you. I hope that that is something that you can sense during this week to come, and we'll talk again.